What is going on, chat? How we doing? Happy Wagon Wednesday, BTL episode 147 piece. Jovan, how we feeling?
Feeling good. I'm alive, but barely. Got a little loss of energy from last night, but
Okay.
back ready to roll.
Celebrating the holidays with the fam. Always fun,
Not
right?
with the fam, not with the fam, but
Oh, with some boys from home. With some
yeah,
boys from home.
yeah, we got a group
Well,
together, so I'm feeling it a little bit.
good to see your friends, right? And you come back from school, you drink too many beers. Next thing you know, you're here, sitting in that chair.
Yep.
Damn, we got a new lab up set up today too, huh?
No, it's just a little higher, a little lower.
Oh shit.
Kind of
Okay.
looks like, yeah.
It does look. It looks like a completely different room.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, hey, the best way to get the beer flu out of your system is do some cardio. Maybe we'll get you back on the
We got it.
what is that, elliptical?
Yeah, it's something. We got it out. We got it
Over
right.
under 4.5 minutes before you throw up if you go on that thing full speed.
Yeah, we might need to set that line at about 2.
Alt under.
A little bit.
Jovan healthy as an ox. Sure he can. He's got the beer flu, but you know what? We'll survive. We're here on a Wednesday, last ep of the week. Sorry, guys. We got shit to do the next couple of days as we try to get down to the college football playoffs with all these planes getting canceled. Your boys both have Southwest tickets in our pockets. How about it?
Yeah.
How about it? Well, this should end well. This should end well. My ticket cashed finally for Jovan's class. Is that true, Jovan?
Did actually. I don't know. I didn't say that, so
I
guess that was a lucky guess. But yeah, it did actually.
Oh shit!
Pass. So I'll be doing something
Let's
to celebrate.
Go! Come on!
While we're out in
Cheers!
Phoenix. So stay posted for that.
Let's fucking go, dude. That's huge. They said it couldn't be done. They doubted.
Yeah,
they doubted.
I
had a feeling you'd be okay.
Yeah, they isn't me. So
God's got some insider info. Sure he can.
He does.
Zach saying he's got a Southwest flight on Friday. Still hasn't been canceled. Kind of wish they'd just cancel it. Zach, I also have a flight on Friday, and I'm scared. And I'm pretty sure Jovan does too.
Yeah, a little scared.
Is that a Krabs mug? Yes. This is a Krabs Bets mug. Sure. This is the old logo. Only the OGs remember this one. Look at that. That used to be the logo right there. Boom.
Yeah.
Funny story about this mug. I really shouldn't even be using it. It's the only thing my ex gave me ever that's useful. So still have that mug. Peppermint coffee? No, just the shitty Dunkin' coffee that we put in the coffee maker today. If I hit all my other bets yesterday, besides the crappy two-piece, I could be treating myself to some Starbucks peppermint. Not today, though. Not after the Hornets game. Not after the Hornets didn't cover by the hook. That was fun. But yeah, Chad, if anybody's a specialist on Southwest Airlines planes, let me know. And let me know if my flight's going to be canceled or not on Friday. Okay?
Yeah, let me know.
My bitch ass is about to be driving down to fucking Atlanta tomorrow night. Great. Any dating advice? Sure. Don't date someone in college. There you go. There's your date device. Boom.
Nice.
Don't do that. Unless she's the one, okay? And you know if she is or not. I'll leave you with that. Okay? Definitely caked. Awesome. Thank you. I have Dunkin' cake cups too. They ain't too bad. Yeah, they ain't too good. We've got a ton of really good games today. Finally. I feel like these could have been spread out the last couple of days, but we've got some really good bowl games. We've got some really good college basketball games today, Jovan. Are you excited?
Yeah, there's a couple of really good ones.
Sure.
So I'm excited to see it.
Sure. Budman has the real advice. Marry the ass by the tits. Sure he can.
Spin. Absolutely spin.
Sure he can. Yeah, Garrett, unless it's the teacher. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get A's on the classes. All right. God knows what Jovan was doing to pass that class.
Yeah, we won't talk about that. But
hope you had a female teacher. We'll leave it at that. It's about plus 120. The flight doesn't get canceled. Great. Okay. And yeah, I am wearing my Wentz jersey, guys. I brought it back out. Can you see it?
There we go.
Had to address this. So, obviously not the biggest Wentz fan. I don't think he should be playing. But you know what? I don't work for the team. And I don't have a say, unfortunately. So all I can do besides bitch and moan about how Heineke should be the starter, is support my guy who's back in at QB, because that's all I can fucking do. Because my words and actions aren't going to put Heineke back in. So I might as well root for him, okay? Because I don't like rooting for shit I can't control. That's one of my biggest life lessons. There's a real life lesson for you. Don't worry about shit you can't control. I'm not a coach of the Commanders, so unfortunately, my words don't mean shit, although sometimes I probably think they should, looking at our actions. But hey, all I can do is root for the mans, and yeah, let's hope he doesn't throw 4 picks in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, if this pops up next week, or this week, I guess it is, I'll for sure be on that.
Oh, man. But my point is, am I happy about the decision? Do I think it's the right decision? No, although I get it. But what the fuck am I supposed to do? It's done. It's official. It's happening. Might as well hop on board. Might as well root for the team. Because if I don't, it's not going to work. Okay. Sure you can. Yeah, were you slipping your professor some bets?
Yeah, probably I do. Yeah.
I love it, bro. Yeah, let's hope if Wentz throws 5 picks in the last 2 weeks of the season and busts my prize picks, the crab whale, I'm going to be blown. That would be something.
Yeah.
I have a feeling if he's throwing 5 picks in a game, he's probably coming out and Heineke's going back in. Although somebody was saying Sam Howell might be going in, and I was like, "What? This is going too far. What are we talking?
Lord,
what are we talking about? What can you do? Question mark. Bet on the Browns. Well, yeah, you could do that, and I don't hate that. We're not going to talk about how the Browns are a very short dog on the road when they have nothing to play for. We're not going to talk about that today.
yeah.
We're not. We're going to talk about 2 things. We're going to talk about bowl games, and we're going to talk about bets. That's what we're going to do. Okay? So let's move to the gridiron. All right? Shout out the Krabby 2-piece yesterday. It was actually free. It was actually free. Hope you guys tailed that. That was free. Anyways, we got a game starting up here in about an hour. UCF versus Duke. We've got some decent games today. This is the Military Bowl in Annapolis. Pretty cool. I've been to this bowl game a bazillion times. Not today, though. I think Plummer's playing. Pretty sure. I think everyone's pretty much playing in this game.
Yeah.
You got any thoughts on this game? I think Duke wins, but I don't like the pullback.
I don't either, but it's something to remember is this line flipped in the first place. I'm awfully certain because I think Duke opened +3, +3.5, and now it's completely flipped to the other side. They're the 3.5 point favorite, so that's kind of keeping in my eye. I think they do win this game. I don't love this game as far as the other games on the slate, but have to side with that move there.
Yeah, I'm doing some confirmations here. Yeah, definitely open up as a dog.
Yeah,
and they're definitely a favorite.
And I assume, what do you want to call like a point or point and a half? Can attribute that to Plumlee, maybe, and maybe the confirmation of that, like you're saying in chat, is because Plumlee is officially playing now, so I wouldn't be too worried. But I mean, it's a large flip with no significant opt-outs in the first place, other than maybe they were expecting Plumlee and now he's in, and now they adjusted, so we're looking at a 3. So I mean, that's what I'm at.
And we can't deny, we can't ignore the trend. Bowl games moving more than 4 points, they cover damn near every time. Knock on wood. So can't ignore it.
Yeah.
Can't ignore it. UCF is also missing a bunch of players. Yeah, they are missing a lot of their defense. Okay. Arkansas ML is the best play today. Corey, we'll get to that, brother. We'll get to that. But yeah, I think I lean Duke here. I think I like Duke ML. Hate eating juice, but sometimes you got to embrace it and not fear it. And I think this is probably the spot to do it.
Yeah.
I feel like effort levels here. This Duke team is going to be hungry to get a win here to end the season, I think. They kind of ended the season pretty strong. Some big-time outright wins. UCF kind of ended the season on a downward spiral. So when that happens, I kind of like going with the team that's got some mojo. In this case, unfortunately, it's the worst team that is favored, and it's Duke. But they're probably -3 for a reason, probably because they're going to roll They've got more motivation. They got more guys playing. It sucks with some of these bowl games that just don't matter with teams who have been in better bowls before. You get to the military bowl and you get guys opting out. You got guys who don't want to be there. You got guys transferring. You got guys who don't give a shit. So it's looking like with the line, Duke's winning this game. So I will be eating the juice and taking the ML around minus 155-ish. It is what it is. Sometimes you got to do it. Sometimes you got to do it.
Sometimes you just got to. You got to.
It's facts. So I'll be on that. That starts up in about an hour 15. Damn, we've got Kansas and Arkansas here. Here you go, Corey. Talking about Arkansas. Unfortunately, Corey, I disagree, brother. I disagree. I want KU. KU absolutely folded towards the end of the season. You can chalk it up to QB injuries. You can chalk it up to them just not being that good. You can chalk it up to whatever. But I want in on this line move. Plain and simple. It's not every day that Kansas gets into a bowl game, so I think you will see effort from that side and from their coach, which should trickle down to the players. At least I'd hope so. I don't know what QB is going for Kentucky. Is it Bean?
Kansas? No, Kansas going Daniels. I think they're fully healthy.
Yeah, so they're going. So Daniels is back. They're rolling with him. Arkansas's got Jefferson going out there, right? But I mean, how effective has he been this season? He's been nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm totally okay with going Kansas here, with that spread moving from plus 4.5 to plus 2.5 today. Go ahead and inject that into my fucking veins.
Yeah, and I think for me, I guess football side of things, because yes, I do like the move. I do like kind of the motivation factor with a team with Arkansas who doesn't have many guys, I say significantly on defense, especially playing in this game that I would want to see playing for them. And this is Kansas' Super Bowl, like we're saying. This is a lot of I don't know the last time they've been in a bowl, probably somewhere around that 2010 season or whenever that was, 2008 maybe, when they were ranked pretty high. I think they went to the Orange Bowl. But this is a team that's now fully healthy, and kind of football side of things, like I was saying, one thing that I saw somebody break down the other day, I was watching ESPN or something, Arkansas really struggles with motion. And Kansas is like one of the teams that does that most frequently out of any college football team. And they're missing their two top linebackers, which when you talk about identifying motion and kind of adjusting to that, those are the guys that you need to do it and you need to adjust. So they're missing linebackers. That's going to hurt them. They're starting, I think, 6 or 7 freshmen on that defense, period, which, again, when you need linebackers to adjust to that, but you really need anybody, defensive backs especially, and they're missing a couple of those. And then offensively, too, Kansas's D-line is a little underrated, and they're going to be missing their starting center, too. Which Kansas, when they do get pressure, it's a lot of stunts up the middle. So I think they're going to struggle in quite a few different ways here. And this is Kansas' Super Bowl. If they have an edge, they're going to exploit it. You're going to see pretty much every bag of tricks play from Lance Leopold today, because this is a game for fun, but it's a game they want to win. So I like Kansas.
Agreed. I'm surprised to see some bets on Pickett on Kansas, dude. Are you seeing this? You can I mean, I know the glare, but
yeah,
a lot of blue.
Kansas is the fun team. They're the fun team. I mean, everybody, I don't want to say everybody, but I mean, a lot of people don't want to bet on Kansas because Kansas, and they're the team that they're like the public darling. They're like the Lions. If they're even the slightest bit good, people want to bet on them. But I mean, from some of the comments and some of the Twitter things, you can see they're probably a little less public than that shows.
Yeah, I know. I'll be on Kansas in this spot. Plus 2.5 is it's my weakness in football. You know that. So there's nothing I can do. When I see a plus 2.5, 9 times out of 10, I'm betting it. I don't even have a choice. It's like Big Cat with overs. It's when I see plus 2.5, it's getting bet.
Yeah, you got I mean, I'm not worried. So you still got 60% of bets on them on VSiN too. So not particularly worried on Arkansas.
Okay. Guys, always use a bunch of different sites to check splits and stuff. Use Pickett, use VSiN, use whatever you got to use. Okay. And follow me on Pickett. All right. Raheem Sanders over 114.5 rushing yards. Holy shit.
Yeah. I don't hate that.
Holy shit.
They're gonna get, I mean, that's the place where Arkansas is really gonna exploit them, is on that little outside zone run. Because Kansas can't contain the outside on any type of run, and they've been getting killed there all year. So it's not like they're going to come out there and shut down this offense. There's going to be points in this game. So
okay, but I think we can both agree. KU rock chalk.
Rock chalk.
Okay. Oregon, UNC. This spread's fat. It's fat. It's
Just
really fat.
Just a bit.
Like Fat Girls Inc. fat. That type of fat.
Yeah.
Oregon laying 13.5 against UNC with May playing. I don't care who else is out. That's a lot of fucking points.
Yeah.
And that tells me Oregon might absolutely stomp on UNC today. We know Nix is playing. Duke's at 3.5 now. Is that true?
I think that's where it was, where it's been, or at least some point. I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna lock that in no matter what right now, so I might as well bet it.
Yeah.
Why
not?
Why not us? But anyways, I mean, Jovan, Oregon laying 13.5 here against Drake May, who is one of the best quarterbacks in college. Like, this is just ridiculous. Oregon's gonna roll.
Yeah, I mean, what tells me that too? Like, I don't think I know it's Oregon's defense who hasn't been good whatsoever, but I mean this. Like what? Yeah, like you're saying, UNC 9 starters out, and this total is still 75.5. So I mean, there's going to be some offense regardless, and I would prefer to lean on the team that has the starters and has Bo Nixon as their starting quarterback in, and is going to do this. And they're favored by 14. They're going to put up 50. They very easily could against the UNC defense that is horrid to begin with. They got a couple guys out as well. Spread is probably pretty big for a reason. I don't know why or if I'm going to really play this, because I don't want to buy that news with Drake May out. I don't know how popular that's going to be or where the money's going to be at. I haven't looked at that game, but I don't see them stopping Bo Nix. I don't see them keeping this game even close.
Yeah, it's the splits are looking, not great. 57% of bets, 47% of handle on. Oh, that's on UNC's. Okay. Oregon's getting 43% of bets, 53% of handle on the spread. Okay. I don't hate that.
It's not bad.
I don't hate that. I'm seeing more handle on Oregon on a couple other places, but okay. All right. Well, I locked in Duke ML at -155. Chats. If you're looking for some action today, sometimes you got to eat the juice. You got to do what you got to do. Okay. God, man, I know UNC's whole offense is out pretty much. I'm surprised that Drake May's even playing. I don't know if you're surprised by that too, especially after we saw what happened with our guy, fucking Chandelier motherfucker, Coastal Carolina QB, who got hurt and missed, the whole second half of that game last night for Coastals.
Yeah,
getting hurt before he's about to transfer. I thought that was weird. So I'm thinking, surprising to see Drake May playing with the rest of his team out. I don't know how that's going to play out. And their entire secondary is out, our guy Jay saying too. So that's going to be tough. I'm not betting Oregon. I'm not laying -14, -13.5 against a team who has their whole team out, right? I'm not, fading bad news, but I'm sure it's not taking UNC.
Yeah.
So I'll be staying off that game.
What it's going to be too, because I mean, if they do have all of their secondary out, they're not going to get any pressure on Bo Nix, period, because their defensive line is not good, and Oregon has a very good offensive line. So what is that going to make them do? That's going to make them kind of sit back, and I'm going to assume like a corners type coverage and just let Bo Nix chunk them down the field. And if they're doing that for the whole period of the game against an offense and Bo Nix, they're just going to get torched.
Yeah. Okay. So probably no bet there. Are you looking to fade UNC with all their guys out, or are you sitting this one out?
I mean, if we got the whole secondary out and it's going to play out kind of like I think it is, like I just talked about, definitely liking it a little more the more that we talk about it. So I'm not mad at it.
Okay. All right. Let's move to Texas Tech and Ole Miss. The night game. Probably the best game of the night. God, Ole Miss really fell off, man. Jackson Dart, he's something. Looks like he's playing today. And so is Shaw for Texas Tech here. So they don't have his props up on Prize Picks, unfortunately. But this is two teams trending in complete different directions here again, Jovan. I know it's moved from +3 to +3.5, but I do like Texas Tech here. getting 3.5 points. I usually hate buying or betting plus 3.5, but the way Ole Miss's season has ended, I don't really think they want to be here playing in this game. I initially thought about taking the over. I think there's going to be points from both sides here, kind of like we saw last night in that Coastal game, ECU.
Yeah.
I think we get points here too. It's square. It's moved from 66 to 72. Don't really care. I think it still goes over. I think we get points. But at this point, it's already moved 6 points. I think the value there is kind of caked. I'm looking more at targeting Texas Tech here, who's been playing a lot better of late, and seems like they might still have a little bit of heart. And it's not like Ole Miss is resting all their guys. I mean, Jackson Dart's playing.
Yeah.
I was kind of shocked to see the spread be this short, but with the way Ole Miss kind of ended the season, losing 4 or 5, losing 2 games is a favorite to end the year. It probably makes sense, and I think Ole Miss is probably packing it up, getting ready for next season. So, give me Texas Tech, give me the points on the road here.
Yeah, I mean, I lean them too. I think I'm just going to go with the over. That's my play here. I think this is it's a square one. There's pretty much, I guess, any over at this point in these couple games that we have here is going to be pretty square. It's going to make a lot of sense, but this is probably the one that I would go with because I do think when you look at these teams, both of them really struggle to stop the run, and these are offenses. Obviously, what Ole Miss has done with Judkins and Zach Evans all year, they've been great. But Texas Tech has really started to pick it up in their run game in the second half of the year. And yes, they're playing horrible rush defenses in the Big 12 they did in the back half of that year, but Ole Miss has sneakily been really, really bad too against the run. So this is a game where I think there's going to be a lot of explosive plays, a lot of chunk plays. I think not that they have this, I don't think for college, but if you're talking like longest rush or longest receiving or longest catch, these would be the games that you'd look at for these huge plays. And
there's going to be some big plays tonight.
There's going to be massive plays. And I think with Texas Tech too, it's important because they're trying to find their stride offensively going into next year. Because I think Shaw is coming back. I think a majority of them is coming back. So they're not going to try anything crazy, but they're going to look for stuff to build off of. So they're going to have a pretty good showing here against a weak Ole Miss defense. And I think Ole Miss is going to do the same. So give me the points like Texas Tech.
Okay. Gun to your head, you got to take the over. You got to take Texas Tech. What are you playing here?
It's the over. It's the over.
Even at 72, you don't give a hoot?
Nope. Don't really care. I think we can see 90.
Okay. Jay Stagg missed the Duke UCF talk. What's the lean? Unfortunately, it's Duke ML. Don't fear the juice. Embrace it. Lay it. Do what you got to do. Okay. Duke by 1-6 plus 400. That sounds tasty. Don't hate it. Don't hate it.
Yeah.
It's going to suck when they win by 30. And I'm going to say, why didn't I take the spread? But we move. Yeah, Duke wins that game now. Duke wins that game. There's some CBBs on today, Jovan. There's some games that are looking at me kind of funny.
Yeah, there's a couple for sure.
There's some games that are looking at me kind of funny here, huh?
Yeah.
A lot of ranked teams playing today. Getting a game in here, game or two in here before the new year. Shit, man. There's a couple lines calling my name.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
For sure.
Might as well start with Mississippi State here. Damn, a lot of questions in chat. The 317K bet Caesars took on Duke ML doesn't scare you at all. Well, Larry, I wish I knew that a little while ago, but let's hope that's one of the few big bets that hits. All right. I missed the play on Arkansas and Kansas. Kansas plus 2.5. Sure. UMES does play today. Yes, Preston's. Anyways, Bama and Maryland CBB. Pega, we'll get to that, brother. We're talking about Bama here right now. I thought it was a little weird. Sure.
Yeah.
Are you able to make it go bigger or no?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't looked at that yet, but
okay.
We'll figure it out next time. I remember.
All right.
But look,
get your magnifying glasses out, gentlemen, and we're going.
Yeah, didn't work.
Okay. I think I might be able to pull this off, Jovan. Why don't we?
Here we go.
Let me see if I can take the sticks. Can Jesus take the wheel? Hold on.
Take it.
Give me a sec. Are we in?
We're in.
Is this what we wanted?
I mean, we're not in it.
Oh shit. Well, how do we get ourselves on there? Oh,
There you go.
hey, let's go.
We got
W
it.
streamers. W streamers in chat. Let's see the W's. Boom. All right. Cut the shit. No more jokes. No more fun. All right. How we looking? How we looking? Oh, we're looking good.
There we go.
We're looking good, chat. All right. Bama, Mississippi State. Where are we, huh? Where the fuck is this game at, huh? Where is it? Did I skip it? Did I miss it? Oh, here it is.
It's a little later.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
All right. Our shoe blows. Damn, 80% of bets on Bama -1.
Yeah.
That's pretty weird considering they're -3.5 last night, Jovan.
Yeah, it's a little strange.
Now they're at -1 with all the bets coming in on them. A little weird. I mean, look at these splits. If I could make splits myself, if I could handcraft them, hand pick them,
Even look
this
at
would
the
probably be where I put them. Yeah,
look at the
everything.
money line too.
The whole
which is,
shebang.
I guess even more important because it's
The whole shebang.
-1 spread. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. We've talked about it before. You know, when the spread is, you know, within a point or two, it's you got to kind of look at the ML splits because people are probably betting on that more than the spreads, and even that's looking juicy.
Yeah.
That's looking pretty damn good to me. 24% of bets, 51% of handle. Some big boy bets coming in on Mississippi State. I can get behind it. Look, I don't like this Mississippi State team. I'll be honest with you. Although this is a pretty bad spot for Bama here. A team that's, you know, got some young guys on it. Mississippi State with the suffocating defense. This is a matchup made in hell for Bama.
And I mean, just looking at it too, I mean, the 3.5 down to 1 or even 0.5 or a pick 'em even, I think I saw in my book, but it's a little strange, especially coming off of the game that we faded Mississippi State, outright lost to Drake on a neutral court. I guess if you want to call it that, it's really Nebraska, so maybe like a half home game for Drake, but a Drake team that hasn't been that impressive. They've been okay, not good enough to kind of warrant giving them a pass for this game or that loss, but
sure.
It's weird, and I look at the total too. I mean, you expect a lower total when you talk about Mississippi State, but this is a Bama team who's only had 2 totals, 140 or under, and one of them was the Houston game where they won that game, but that total went like 129 to 137, found its way in the middle there, went under like 135, and this one has kind of similar movement, not as drastic. So I think we get a little masterclass from the defense here. Maybe they get Alabama to turn it over. It's a young team. That's what they're going to do. And God forbid if we see Mississippi State go dog to favorite here, maybe in the next couple hours.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
You would not see any complaints from me, brother, if that's the case. None at all. What about Tennessee and Ole Miss?
Yes.
I feel like this Ole Miss team is, and damn, they're coming off holy smokes, they're coming off a terrible loss. We'll get to it here in a second.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they are. I mean,
yeah.
Terrible loss.
Home loss to Northern Alabama, North Alabama is the team that is responsible for Mississippi Valley State's only win.
Yeah, I can tell you're a little excited about this one, huh?
Yeah, well, because this is another one that I was watching earlier, this show, and they're breaking it down too, because Tennessee, we know that they struggle offensively, and Ole Miss is going to – they do this time and time again, but teams against Tennessee, they break out zones periodically. And Ole Miss's zone has been pretty good when they choose to break it out. And against the Tennessee team, who really, really struggles against it, I think this is a perfect spot for it. This is kind of the sleepy game, I would say, on the slate, where it's we have the Miss States, we have some of the other games like a St. John's Xavier, Florida Auburn, bigger games. This is the game where I think it's going to be a little slept on. We see that big little parlay piece, money line concentration, looking at 90 plus on both sides for Tennessee. And I think this is the game where they come out sleeping a little bit. Maybe they get a little 3-point win at Ole Miss. It's going to be a real gritty game.
Yeah, and it's not like Ole Miss is no slouch. They are coming off an absolutely putrid loss, but they've got a couple decent wins this season, and they've got an okay team. So I don't hate playing them at home at the Pavilion tonight against Tennessee. I like the move. This Tennessee team really does struggle to score. Vescovi's had a hell of a time getting going offensively this year. He's been hurt. So until he looks comfortable and consistent, Tennessee's on the fade list. in my opinion. We know their defense is legit, but so is Ole Miss. And I think Ole Miss gives them fits today.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Kind of like we saw with Maryland, giving them fits. So
yeah, and I mean, I don't hate the splits on that under either. Kind of the way that we're expecting this game to go. 26% of bets, but 60% of that handle with the arrow going up a little bit. So we're getting some money coming in on it. Yeah.
Sure. I don't love that it initially, the total went up initially from where it opened, but interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Ole Miss is definitely circled on my list. I'll tell you that much. What about TCU's today? You want to talk about your boys real quick?
I mean, not really worth talking about, but I mean, looking at the splits on that over too, I think they're going to roll in this game. I think they cover. I think it goes over. Not just going to pipe the boys, pipe them up.
Pause.
Yeah. Pipe the boys up because they're my team, but UCA they're not going to be ready for
now
any.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, they're not going to be ready for any type of the defense that this is going to show. So they're going to score.
You guys don't know, but Jovan didn't even want to do the show today. He was so hungover. So I'm going to troll him as much as I possibly can today.
I don't want to do it.
50 minutes.
Just saying, I'm lacking a little energy here.
So Jovan is vulnerable today, guys. I can get after him today. Usually he's a little sharper than me.
Yeah, caught a fat Uber to get here, so we're back in the studio.
Good work.
Early morning trip.
That's hard. Seriously, it is. Albany UVA, nothing.
No, God no.
How about Nova UConn?
That's a weird one. I mean, Nova's a little public. That we're seeing that line kind of creep back towards UConn, going 11.5. I think I last saw it up to that 12. So I don't know if we're still in kind of the mindset that Villanova is good, because I mean they're playing, I guess, a little better, you can say, but I'm still not bought into this team. I think UConn is still one of the more dominant teams, if not the most dominant team in all of college basketball. You can argue them and Purdue, but I'm definitely not going after Nova here. Looking at that move against the money and bets.
Yeah, I mean, I think Nova will be okay. I don't think Nova will be a team competing for the national championship or anything, but I think come second half of the year when Villanova gets healthy, I mean, their best player's been hurt the whole year. People forget, and they lost Jay Wright. Like, let's not. It's tough times in Villanova right now, and I know they got a decent coach to come back in, one of their old assistants to take over, and Jay Wright's definitely, helping out as much as he can. But and also shout out Jay Wright for not being a douche and making his whole last season about him and not the kids. I really respect Jay Wright and appreciate him and his awareness to know that it's not about the coaches and it's not about him, and it's about the kids and it's about the basketball. It's not about the guy, yelling at the kids from the sidelines. Yeah. I really always will respect Jay Wright for that, walking away like a normal person and not having it be some sort of, Mickey Mouse, Disney World, final send-off where every team's got to give the coach something on his way out and act like he doesn't, his shit doesn't stink and he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Yeah. I will always respect Jay Wright for that. But it's tough times in Villanova, man. It really is right now. Their best player's been out all year. And they got to face a really fucking good UConn team. I'm assuming Villanova plays UConn twice.
I believe so.
Maybe second time around. Maybe second time around when Nova's a little healthier, when their coach has a couple more games under his belts at home. Maybe that's when we give it a look. But I think we sit back, relax, enjoy the show that UConn's given us, man. They're the best team in the country.
Yeah. I mean, somebody said in chat too, UConn first half. I think that's a decent look. We've been trying a lot of these, I guess, lower end double-digit spreads, taking them first half, and that's been a pretty successful strategy. And I think this could be, if you like UConn, probably a spot where you take them.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see this. I know it's Villanova, right? But I'm surprised to see this many bets and this much respect. Yeah. To a Villanova team that's lost some really bad games this year. I'm surprised, but here it is again. Names carry weight. Names carry a lot of weight. School names. Yeah. History carries a lot of weight. It shouldn't, but it does, right? Villanova, historically one of the best teams in college basketball. This year, not so much. They're still getting bets. People still not believing in Sonogo and UConn's. They'll learn. They'll learn. I want to talk about another. We're pretty much only talking about ranked teams here, guys. Maybe we'll do something later where we dig into some of these other games. Let's talk about Kentucky and Missouri. Man, I hate the move from 2.5 to 3.5. But shit, man, it's a system play, and I don't want to bet Mizzou at all this whole season. They talk maybe the biggest overperformers in all of college basketball this year, but they're getting 3 points against a ranked Kentucky team that I think we can both agree they're a little fraudulent. And I want to take Mizzou here. Now Kentucky also hasn't covered in what seems like a year. I don't think they've covered since before Thanksgiving. You know, they're kind of like the Chiefs where they get a lot of respect. They don't cover a lot. Yeah. I'm a little bit worried about Mizzou being public today from stream and from what I've seen and stuff like that. But the splits don't lie, Jovan. This is looking pretty damn good for me. I'm liking Mizzou. I don't like the move from 2.5 to 3.5. Do you think Mizzou has the bodies to even hang around with Oscar in the paint? No, you don't.
What's keeping me off of it? And I mean, yes, Prize Picks Poppy. I would love an Oscar over rebounds today, especially if it's at 12.5. I mean, what their tallest player is 6'7", maybe. Missouri's big man. So I mean, they don't have the guys. They're gonna get ravaged the second chance points. They're not going to be able to get a rebound. And I mean, sure, I think that Severe Wheeler and a couple of those guys are really going to struggle as far as the turnovers they're going to see them force. Maybe the pace is a little faster than a couple of teams that they've been able to play or played well against or whatever it's going to talk. I can't do it. Splits are nice. I think the move.
I was hoping the splits wouldn't be nice.
Yeah.
So I could say, this is fake sharp, whatever. I don't even want to deal with this.
But
now we're here.
That's the thing. And I mean, there's not enough bodies to hang in the paint and rebounding for me to take them. The move kind of goes along with that. And I mean, Missouri, I think the time that you wanted to get them, I guess we tried against Kansas. That flopped. Much better team, but they just won by 20 or 22 or 23 or whatever it was against Illinois as at home as a big dog. And this Kentucky team, like you said, hasn't covered since World War II. So I think we missed the window, or not missed because we were on it, but I'm saying we're past the window, I guess, a little bit for a Kentucky team that you, and I think a lot of people think is not very good and is very young. Going up against a team like Missouri, who's tough to play at home, is going to force turnovers, make them run. I'd stick with Kentucky. I don't know if I'm going to play it, but I don't want to bet Missouri here.
Yeah, it's probably a stay away spot for your boy. Where's that comment I wanted to pull up? Fuck.
And yes, this is like our man Ben Carey's been preaching.
Here it is.
Home court advantage, not as great with Christmas break going on. That's
for sure. And I don't know how many people who go to that school are from around that area. If they're gonna have a bunch of townies coming out of the fucking woodworks to go to the game, I wouldn't be shocked. I feel like that's something that Mizzou would have.
I mean, I'd hope it's going to be packed at least still because they backed out of playing Kansas in the bowl game because it was supposed to be today.
Sure.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wouldn't it be funny? Kansas comes out and rolls today. Missouri comes out and gets stroked today.
It'd be a little karma, right? A little karma. Yeah. And you're going to hear this narrative a lot. First road game for the Cats. I've already seen it all over my feed, right? First true road game for Kentucky this year. They've been struggling. This is a big letdown spot. It's their first true road game. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Damn. Okay. If the line didn't move, probably would be on Mizzou, but that line's moving, and maybe Mizzou will be a little public, a little fake sharp today. But goddamn, those splits are juicy. I'm pissed they look like that. They look good.
They do.
They look good.
They do.
I'm assuming that's our guy Yale in chat saying no Mizzou slander. Sure. It could be Josh too.
It's probably Josh, yeah.
Sure. No Mizzou slander tolerated. St. John's, we'll get to that. You guys are not patient today. That's okay, though.
Yeah.
That's okay, though. Let's keep moving. Let's keep grooving. Florida Auburn. Fuck, man. Florida sucks. I want to bet on them today, though.
I think both these teams suck, which is my problem. Like, I think I would love to fade Auburn because they're a team that I think is very, very fraudulent. But like I've said, I like to target them on the road, and they have not a lot, but they have some good road games coming up that I think are going to be great spots. I wouldn't be shocked if we see this coming Wednesday, we see a sleepy little short line against Georgia after they come out possibly with a big win today against Florida. See a short line, they fall flat on the road. I wouldn't be shocked. So it's like with this team, I'm specifically looking for targets on the road because I think these are the spots to get them. But looking at this game, it would make me think that Florida is the play. And I think Castleton, he's another big matchup advantage for him today. I don't know what to expect from this game, to be honest with you. And I do like the splits. Splits are nice for this game.
Yeah, are we gonna get Softy Castleton today, or is he gonna bitch around Janai Brown?
Yeah, it's the thing. I think he can.
I've been very disappointed with Janai Brown.
Yeah,
very disappointed with him.
Good.
He has not been good. He has not translated to a real conference well one bit.
Yeah.
Which I
mean, spot wise there for both of these teams. I guess it is pretty ideal for Florida coming off of, I guess, a pretty public spot that they're in against Oklahoma, falling pretty flat, and then Auburn was in a sharp spot that we failed and looked at with Washington. So
yeah, no.
Spot wise, couldn't be better.
I know. I hate how Florida beat them last year outright as a dog. Yeah. I mean, Florida's had some good success against this Auburn team in the last couple of years, to be honest with you. Although I know it's completely different this year, new coach. But a lot of the same guys, mainly the big boy. I like Florida here. I think Florida sucks, but the splits don't lie. The move doesn't lie. I think this spread is short. I'm probably going to have to be on Florida today, Jovan. I hate to say it. If they don't cover, then I'm going to be upset myself saying Florida's not as good as the public thinks they are, and I knew that. I'm going to be very blown and upset, so maybe I'll stay off. But as of right now, Florida's looking pretty damn good to me.
Yeah, not mad at it.
Florida's looking pretty damn good. I think Castleton's going to grub. I really do.
Yeah, he will.
What are he's got any squares up?
Let's take a look. See how high they are. So I know he's coming off the Oklahoma game, which that was the spot that I was on him because that was literally probably the best matchup in college basketball this year. And he's hanging 23.5, which is higher than pretty much every game except last game. So reflects everything that you're probably going to see from him today. He's got 8 rebounds that he's pushed last 3 games, but hasn't gone over in his little chart last 5. Yep. So I mean, he's going to feast. You kind of expect the same things. But can their guards do anything?
I know he could feast, and then no one else scores for Florida. They go ghost, and
I mean their guard play is horrible.
Rather not bet a winner than bet a loser. Yeah, handyman. That you sound like Yoda, brother. That's very wise. That's a DeGen quote. Yeah, it's got to be. Yes. It's Auburn today. Kitch, come on, brother. Come on now. I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's tough.
We find out tonight how bad Florida really is. Because honestly, if they can't cover and beat this Auburn team that we kind of both agree that they're not really locked in right now, this Florida team kind of does suck. And we probably shouldn't bet on them going forward.
The thing is, though, like I've been saying, they lock in at home. And I know it's not the same probably home field or home court advantage that you get, when all the students are there, but they haven't really had they've had one true home game in like the last 3 weeks, and it was like right during exam week, so hard to fault them for being a little sleepy in that game. So now they're coming back. Maybe they lock in. They're a completely different team. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean Auburn hasn't lost at home this year. They're probably not going to the rest of the year. Good call. We move. You think Nichols hangs around with Baylor? I think they do.
Yeah, I mean,
I really like this Nichols team. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've watched them a weird amount this year.
We got 2 teams. We got Nichols and Northwestern State who are like actually good. in the Southland, which is strange.
Dude, Nichols is huge. Nichols is
They are.
huge, athletic, fast, and they've got two really good scorers with Latrell and Caleb Huffman. Two guards who are, I mean, they're buckets. Like, there's no other way to put it. Like, they're good. I've really enjoyed watching this Nichols team. I think they've kind of surprised a lot of people. I think they cover against Baylor, a Baylor team that I don't think has their shit together. I think they're overrated. I don't really know how they match up with Baylor. That might be more in your realm here, Jovan. But I mean, the splits look fine to me, brother. I know it's with these big spreads, it really doesn't matter too much. With these big spreads, looking at splits, I mean, I don't look at it as much. With these big spreads, with it when it's Ball Sack State versus a real school, it's more just feel and just knowing how good the Ball Sack State school really is. And this Nichols team is legit. They're athletic, they're big, they can hang, they can run, and I think they keep this within 20 against Baylor. I really do.
Yeah, and I mean, this is like when I look at Baylor specifically, because I've faded them quite a bit in a lot of these games against a lot of these smaller schools. Like a team like Northwestern State, not that they exactly lit it up offensively against them, because they scored 48 points. It was a really dull defensive game. But how do you score against Baylor in these games like this? It's with guards that will just go out and get you buckets, which Northwestern State obviously has with Black and Sharp. But they also, you go to Nichols, they have guys out the ass. They have three guys that are going to give you buckets, especially Latrell Jones. So it's that guys. Like when you look at games against schools like Tarleton State, they don't really have that guy, I would say, which is why they struggle a little bit against Baylor. Same with like a couple of the other teams they played earlier in the year, but like more like a McNeese. They even hang around and cover because they have one of those guys too. It's like their perimeter defense is so bad that it's going to give up sometimes. And I think there's no Flagler today too, which somebody confirmed that for me in chat, but that helps even more because the guy's coming off their bench. Their perimeter defense is just as bad, if not worse. And that's one more scoring option they can't lay the load on or shoulder on. So that's bad news I'd be willing to buy. And I think this Nichols team is good. They're a little small, but I'm cool with it.
I have never heard of Nichols, therefore I will bet on them.
There we go.
Attaboy Viz. That's what I'm talking about, brother. Love it. Yeah, Nichols. And yeah, Flagger probably won't play. I mean, he hasn't come back yet. I haven't heard anything. If he does come back and the spread stays the same, I might like it even more. But I would not expect him to be back today.
Yeah, that's what I was.
I think the line would be fatter if he was. But
Probably.
Seriously, I think this is upset alert. This is upset watch. I think Nichols this game might get weird.
It might. I've seen it. I don't know. It's happened quite a few times. They've gotten really, really close. For me to say they're going to come out here and do it again that close. I mean, they really should have beaten Mississippi State last game. Same with Texas Tech. There are a couple, I guess, questionable calls from the refs at the end of that game. They got a little screwed, but can they do it again? I hope. I would love to see it.
Yeah. I think they will. We know Scott Drew is a hardo, and they're going to play hard the whole game. I just don't think they have the guys. So people in chat, I know we've talked about the effort level from Baylor. You're always going to get it with their coach. I just don't think they have the guys right now. Straight up.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess certainly, I mean, this little Nichols has got a couple extra days of rest, which I'm not really worried about rest when it comes to Nichols because they're going to be up for this game no matter what. Their guard's going to be ready to go. They're going to be ready to bang on the inside. So
come on.
They haven't played since the 17th, so they've been off for a full 11 days, which is nice.
Yeah, and that scares me a little bit with rust, but I'm cool with it, and I think your puppies agree.
Yeah, I mean they're raving about Nichols, man. They're excited, super excited about that.
Well, let's keep moving. Let's keep grooving. Let's go to Colorado State and New Mexico. New Mexico finally getting some respect that they deserve. Although they're only -5.5.
It's not much respect
against an 8-5 Colorado. I meant more with them finally being ranked, which was long overdue. Or I guess I'd say overdue. And now you're seeing the line move from 8.5 to 5.5 against an 8-5 Colorado State team. Now look, I've been a proponent of wanting to fade this Colorado State team this season. After they lost, David Roddy Rich, our guy, David Roddy, he was an absolute fucking dog last year. And when he left, I was worried about this team. And then we've seen, Stevens was out for the first half of the season. Since he's been back, he's missed no step, dude. He's dropping 18 points a game, Jovan. So he's ready to go. No rust for him, and they need him. And I think they cover. I think they might win against New Mexico tonight. This spread is fucking short as hell against an undefeated team at home. Jovan, you've been gassing up this New Mexico team for good reason. As they still haven't lost, but I think it's finally time to sell on the Lobos and back a great coach and great point guard in Isaiah Stevens to get Colorado State, get their name back up in respectful talks, which I think they will be in come the end of the season, and they get some more wins under their belts. And I think it starts tonight against an undefeated team. Bad spot for them. I know they're home, but if they take this Colorado State team who's been underperforming and banged up all year, if they take them lightly, I think they lose this game. I want to be on Stevens here.
Yeah, I'm not against it whatsoever. I think this is a game where you look and you will find out very, very quickly how this game is going to go when you look at the first couple minutes of this game, because there's a clear.
Is this fuck around and find out game of the day?
Yeah, because New Mexico is going to run. But there's a significant matchup advantage for Colorado State on the inside. So if we go and we see 6 straight points in the paint coming out of the gate for Colorado State, they're going to come out and cover this game, probably going to win this game. That being said, I think both of these teams have matchup advantages in their own right, which is why we see a total at 150.5, which 100% intrigues me as well. I like, especially if we get to the point kind of late in the night, because I haven't locked this in yet. I don't know if I'm going to, but maybe if we're a little late to the party, talking about a 6.5 down to 5.5, and if it continues to go any further, I think we get points in this game too. And it's continuing to rise. I know we see 151 on DK up on the VSiN screen there. So it's a game that's interesting for sure. Got to lean with you there.
Okay. Yeah, I like him. I'm going to be on him. Our guy Butterknife in chat saying Rams seem like a trendy dog. I fucking hope not, brother.
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
I'll stay posted. Have you been hearing some Colorado State talk today?
Yeah, but for some from people we respect and talk to too. So it's tough to gauge for sure.
Yeah. And that's what worries me about that program and that team is that they are trendy. And they have been so good in the past couple of years that I think people subconsciously expect them to be good and think that they could cover in the spot no matter what against a New Mexico team that they haven't heard much about.
Yeah.
So that's tough. But spot-wise, this is a Krabs play and a half. It's got to be Colorado State.
It is.
What about St. John's? Only getting 1.5 at home against ranked Xavier tonight. Does that tickle your fancy? Does that pique your interest? Another great game tonight. Holy fuck. And St. John's is coming off a loss to Nova.
They are. And this is one where I am a little kind of scared too. I don't want to say scared, maybe a little hesitant because I have seen a lot of St. John's, but kind of in the Big East, in these home games, I'm willing to kind of throw that out a little bit, willing to disregard because this is a spot. Xavier's coming off of 6 straight wins, and St. John's really hasn't done much at all against any decent competitions. They had 3 little garbage wins this month, sandwiched in between games where they're really not competitive against Iowa State and then most recently Villanova. So I know they're undefeated at home. I know we're going to see a lot of that with these Big East home games, just like kind of Providence too was a little public and we got scared of, but I think their pace is just going to cause issues for Xavier. We saw a couple of games, whether you want to talk about the Zags game or some of these other ones, where their defense has been non-existent because they can't handle this. So we talk about guys in the middle like Nunchi and Fremantle and everybody else coming off the bench. That's where they're going to have to try and make their mark. And if it's a game where they just outrun them, I don't know if they're going to be able to keep up. So it's a tough one. I don't like St. John's. I don't want to say they're fraudulent, but I not quite bought into this team, and I think they're a little better than or a little worse than they've been performing, maybe a little overperforming, but wouldn't be shocked if they come out and get this today.
Am I seeing FanDuel laying 2.5 here for some reason on St. John's? Is that true?
Yeah, I don't think they've check Betstamp for it, but I don't believe they've budged from the beginning. I'm not sure it was a move back up.
I'll double check, but
yeah.
It's not at MSG. It's on campus, which I like.
Yeah.
Although people will be home for exams and shit, holidays.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. That scares me that you're hearing a lot of St. Joe's or St. John's tickets, but I mean, it's another system play that if you play this every time responsibly for a unit, if you play this spot long term, you're going to be profitable. So probably going to be on it.
Yep.
Generally, it's moved from -2 to -1.5, so I like that for Joe's. Let's take a look at the splits here. I mean, yeah, it's right where we want them. It's right where we want them.
Just
the ML is pretty even, which is fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. It's probably St. John's for me, unfortunately. Do I think that's a great program and think they're really good and they're about to go on a run? Fuck no. I'm not a St. John's believer, but you guys know how I bet.
Yeah.
I bet lines, not teams. And I think tonight St. John's gets one. I do. Yeah. We got one more really good game tonight, Jovan. We got one more really good game. Another tricky spot with an LSU program that's been through some shit. I think to say the least, they've been through some shit the last year or so. But, I mean, this has been impeccable. An impeccable job by the new coach coming in here. I mean, they're either the biggest frauds and they're putting up a great job, an absolute clinic of distracting people from figuring it out, or this is the fastest rebuild of all time and LSU's back. I mean, I've been extremely impressed by LSU this season with them pretty much being Murray State 2.0, right? They got the Murray State coach over here. They got all their best players. And I was trashing them before the year saying this is just going to be Murray State 2.0 and they're going to get crushed in the SEC. Well, they're 11-1. And I know we haven't dug into SEC play yet, but they're a really short dog here against a ranked Arkansas team that's really fucking good.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to be on LSU here. I hate how good LSU's been in years past with the voice crack. And I think that could be some reason here of why the spread is where it's at. It's also in Baton Rouge, right? And that's a tough place to play. I don't care if the students are away. You're going to see fucking water boy looking people left and right coming out of the woodworks to go to this game against a ranked Arkansas team. I like LSU. I like the way the line's moved. I like the splits. I like everything. I like what I've seen out of this LSU team just in general this season. And I think their coach is pretty bright. And I think they steal one tonight against a ranked team at home. Another system play.
Yeah, and I mean, they've been good. But if you're looking for any type of, I guess, silver lining, they are 1-5 the last 6 ATS. So, I mean, if you're looking for something there, they haven't been covering against a lot of these, I guess, lower tier opponents. We've been on the other side of some of them, talking about like NC Central game, UTA game. So, not to say they haven't been good. They've been sneaking by some teams. So, to see this as well as Arkansas has been playing down to 4.5, 4, it's definitely piquing my interest too. So, I'm with you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm super in. And whatever freak is going off in chat trying to get attention, he's probably the loneliest, most miserable keyboard warrior of them all. So just ignore that guy. I don't know why you guys are giving him the time of day. Just ignore him. He's probably miserable and probably hasn't gotten laid in, half a decade. So let him bitch and be a freak and come in here and do his thing. It's probably making his day. All right. So just leave him alone and let him do his thing. All right.
Just let him talk. Let him talk.
Yeah,
one more though that I'm certainly keeping my eye on. Might be my favorite play. Talking about Wyoming.
Wow, I was hoping you bring them up.
Yeah, going in and play Fresno because this line's flipped. I know we're seeing them pick them some places have Wyoming favored. So they are another team who hasn't played a true road game this year. They're going into Fresno today. I was diving into some of their numbers as far as I was interested in the total, interested in some team totals to kind of look and see what they think. So Wyoming, I mean, they're a team. They're not great away from home. They played a lot of neutral site games. They haven't really impressed. I mean, they're 61 points per game away from home, and if we exclude kind of one overtime game against Santa Clara, because I think they played like five games on the road, or not on the road, but away from home. If you exclude a Santa Clara game that went to overtime, and when they played Howard, who's one of the worst defenses in all of college basketball, the number goes down to 51. And Fresno is a team who defensively has been very, very good at home. They've only given up 59, granted against some not great offenses, but historically too. I mean, over the course of the year, over the course of last year, I know it's a different team, but great defensive team. That's kind of how they play. And we see a team total, little juice to the under, but it's at 63.5, which I think is a tad high. I'm just talking some of historical things too. Fresno's coming off of a year against that really good Wyoming team last year. They swept them very comfortably too. And historically, they kind of owned the series, won the last 4, 8-4, dating back to when it started in 2013. So, I mean, just looking at a couple of these things, and Wyoming, when they've scored more than this team total in the series, they're 4-1. So I think we get a little bit from them today. I think they haven't been particularly good. They haven't impressed me at all, whatsoever. And a lot of that's been due to injuries. Not exactly healthy yet. They're not going to be for a long time. So I think this line flip is certainly for a reason. This kind of team total scenario kind of reminds me a little bit of the TCU Utah game. I think we get some more of that. I think we get a little 70 piece from Wyoming today.
Wow. Okay. Couple things to unpack about this game. So you texted me this morning. You brought up the line move. I obviously dug in a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, what would make sense? What would be the reason why this line could move like this? I was like, oh, is Graham Ike coming back? Maybe he's coming back. Maybe there's something going on we don't know. That would make sense for the line, right?
Yeah.
So did some digging. And, hey, I'll be honest, man. From what I was reading this morning from Wyoming beat reporters and just people on Twitter, which, could be true, could not be true. I don't know if he's going to play this year, man.
Yeah, he's out for God knows how long.
Like from what I've been seeing from these beat reporters covering Wyoming is they're not talking about when he's coming back. Also, let's get this fucking weird ass dude out of here in chat, please. Thank you.
Let's get on that.
Let's go ahead and kick that dude out. He's a freak, and go about our day. But okay. Anyways, I thought it was initially EK. I'm hearing that the dude might not even play again this season, Jovan, which is not good. People are saying, is he going to even play this year? Not when is he coming back? So I don't think it's him. Now, another thing that worries me in this game is that it's on TV. And you know what happens when Martin Maldonado gets on TV, Jovan? He folds.
Martin
Maldonado. I'm going to call him that. Yeah, the catcher. He folds, dudes. He folds in primetime games. Straight up. Yeah, low-key iCarly. Did we kick that dude out of here? Is he gone? Get him out of here. Get him out. Let me know if that dude's been kicked out so I can relax a little bit. But yeah, that worries me a little bit. But I mean, Jovan, unless an injury comes out with Fresno State before the game, I'm going to be all in on Wyoming with you here. Good matchup for them. The line move is crazy. I am worried though about Maldonado on TV tonight. Straight up.
Yeah, that's a fair concern. I mean, dude, every time he's in a super big spot, it's disgusting. He just comes out and has absolutely no idea of what to do.
Looks like a different offense, player, literally.
Yeah, I mean, their offense, thankfully, like last year, it was just a big, throw it in the post, whether it's Maldonado or EK, just let him go. It's a little different. It's a little more.
Well, now they've got Reynolds, who's kind of stepped up. I mean, he's been night and day from his freshman to sophomore year. He's honestly kind of been the guy. Maldonado hasn't even really been the guy this year, which is probably a good thing, right? He clearly can't handle that pressure because every big game he played in his first couple of years, he played terrible. So,
yeah, it gives me a little hope though, looking at some of his squares on Prize Picks. I know I don't know if he gets name, respect, or whatever, so his lines are consistently this high or whatever, but he's a lot of red. lot of red on those charts against teams that are. When you talk about like TAMU, Commerce, which maybe he didn't play all of that game, whatever. Louisiana Tech, not a particularly close game either, but he's coming off of points against Dayton and St. Mary's, 6-6, and he is going to have to score more than that combined in those last 2 games to go over the line they have set for him today against a Fresno defense that is equal to those two, if not maybe even a little better. Probably pretty comparable, but sitting 12.5, which he's hit 1 of the last 5 is points, rebounds, and assists at 21.5. Same thing, only hit in that Louisiana Tech game. Fantasy score, same deal. So maybe he comes out and finally breaks that curse of being terrible on television for once.
Maybe, man. I'm sure he's hell not betting on him.
Yeah, I'll do it for you.
I'm just gonna hope. Yeah, you take that prop for me, man. But yeah. I probably will be on Wyoming, and I'll be really, really happy when they announce like 10 minutes before tip that Fresno has COVID or something. That's gonna be awesome. Really looking forward to that.
That would be tough. Hopefully we don't.
Yeah, hopefully we don't get there. But this line move, there's got to be something going on. I mean, holy fuck. Crazy. There's another game tonight. Another ranked team plays, but I don't really know how much time you want to spend on it. It's Houston and Tulsa's. Tulsa's terrible. This total was higher than I thought, though, Jovan, so it's probably worth talking about for a second here, and it's gone up a couple points.
Yep.
I don't know why this total is going up. Maybe Houston scores, because I don't know how Tulsa's going to against the best defense I've ever seen in college basketball. Houston might roll and cover this game by 10 or 20 points.
Yeah, I mean, that certainly could be it. I'm a little, I guess, scared because, I mean, as good as Houston's defense is, they're not a great rebounding team, which Tulsa is definitely going to have the size advantage, I would think, down low. So maybe that's the part where they score on this Houston defense. It is worth mentioning, too. I mean, Houston, I guess they're efficient from 3. It's not like they're going to go out there and shoot 30 a game, but they're efficient, and this is a Houston or a Tulsa defense that's good at limiting that as well. And they're hanging Marcus Sasser at the dreaded 3.0 3-pointers made, which I haven't seen anybody go over that this year except for Max Amos the one time.
Wow.
So, I mean, Sasser is also coming off of a legacy performance against McNeese with 5, which granted a much worse defense there, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's maybe a little gritty game, get over with free throws in the end, because Tulsa does nobody matches up well with Houston, but they have spots to exploit. So maybe they get some second chance points. Maybe Houston gets to the rack. Maybe it's a little closer. Maybe they cover, but leading their way for sure.
Okay. Looking at these greater than 75% of bets, we got Bama on here. Getting 80% of bets. I like it. Some other NBA bets here too. We got Georgia pulling up here too. Not really sure why the heck they're getting so many bets.
Yeah.
But they're getting a ton of bets, and that spread's moved from 10.5 to 9.5. So maybe give Ryder a look today. But don't let Georgia get hot. I will say they've been weirdly kind of good.
Yeah. They've been really
Don't
good.
let Georgia get hot. So maybe we give Ryder a look. I'll dig into that one a little bit later. All right. Any plays that you love that we missed today?
Not that I love. I think we covered a majority of it, but somebody just brought up Bradley Belmont. I'll be keeping a close eye on that one because I think I started to see a little line flip that's starting to move back now.
Where is it moving?
So initially I saw a little flip from Bradley -1.5 to Belmont -1. Now we're seeing back to kind of that original lines. So I'm keeping an eye on that. I want to see where that kind of settles in the end. But other than that, I think we got to most of it.
This is a basketball brain play, Jovan, and I want to see where the splits are at for this game because I know we saw they had a bunch of handle. They've got 89% of handle on Bradley -1.5 here right now, but I want to see how many bets they have. Because I mean, Belmont has ran their conference for the past couple of years, but I think this Bradley team is just better. And if that spread does flip back, Jovan, like you're saying, and if it keeps moving, I might give the Bradley Braves a look here on the road with one of the best defenses in all mid-major basketball. getting 47% of bets, but 89% of handle. Holy shit.
Jeez.
That total's coming down, though, which makes me like Bradley. That defense is good, and that's a deep team. I like Bradley here. I don't even care if they're on the road. If they close -1.5 or -2, Jovan, on the road against Belmont, who's ran that conference the last couple of years, I'm probably going to have to be on the Bradley Braves. I'll be honest with you. You got thoughts on that before we move?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at it. I think, honestly, that total going down more makes me lean towards Belmont. But not that I like Belmont in the situation, but that would be what I would correlate it with, because I don't think Belmont's going to go out there and just outshoot Bradley, to be real with you. But I do think they're just so much the better team, and I guess the Belmont still has a name. I guess I really didn't consider that, which that is certainly a point to approach on. But lean Bradley, I don't know if I can do it with that though. But we'll see. Okay. We'll see if we keep moving past that original line. We'll see.
Okay. Belmont has a dude that looks like Trump's son. He can shoot the shit out of the ball. Okay. And yeah, good point by our guy EW3, whatever, yada yada yada. Sorry, I don't want to fuck up your name, but great point. Very smart person, I could tell. Belmont's first year in this conference.
Yeah.
Belmont also lost a lot of their best players last year, so they've been scraping by, but it's not your Mimas Belmont. We'll leave it at that.
Not at all. Okay?
It's not. So I might be on Bradley, the better team. All right. Are we good to take University of Maryland Eastern Shore? ML. Man, they're terrible. I don't know if I'd recommend anyone to take them anymore, but we are 1-1 on University of Maryland Eastern Shore bets. But I'm not recommending you bet them against Columbia, although Columbia blows. They're terrible. They might be even worse. And they're coming off an outright win. So is UMES, though. UMES beat Temple outright the other night, Jovan, before Christmas. That's impressive. Sure. Yeah. So I probably wouldn't be going back to back them after that crazy upset. That's the greatest win in program history. Probably wouldn't be backing them. All right, time to get to work, Jovan. Time to get to work. I want to put together 5 plays that we think are going to be going 4-1 or better. All right, Let's get to work. We have plenty of options for today. Plenty. Okay. So let's get it started. Let's start on the gridiron.
Yeah, for the gridiron, my personal couple that I'll put in there, I like Kansas and I like the Ole Miss over.
Okay. I'm more than okay with putting Kansas plus 2.5 in there. I'm more than okay with that.
Love it.
We're not seeing any 3s anymore.
Good.
And you like that Ole Miss over?
I do.
We'll circle back. If we need one.
We will.
Mississippi State plus 1.
Yep.
We'll go
Flames. You see Flames in the chat. What's up with the Flames? I didn't even get to look at hockey today. Leave that out. I don't really look at it, but don't mind it. Favorite against the Kraken and moving their way.
Okay. What about LSU plus 4.5?
Down for that.
Okay. The Jen said he loves the Flames. Okay. Good.
Okay.
Noted. What else do you want to put in? We could put in Ole Miss.
Yeah, I like Ole Miss.
We're talking basketball, Chad, not football.
Yeah. Ole Miss basketball.
7.5.
I mean, I like Wyoming. It's my personal favorite.
Okay, let's put that in.
Starting to see them officially kind of consensus favored now, which is great. Yeah.
Cool. All right, I think we roll with this, but before we fire off the poll, confirm. Kansas plus 2.5 football. We've got Mississippi State plus 1 basketball. We've got LSU plus 4.5 basketball. We've got Ole Miss plus 7.5 basketball. And we've got Wyoming -1.5 basketball. Maldonado, please don't fuck us. Please.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can roll.
Yeah,
we
we'll
can
dig
roll
into hockey.
Wyoming ML. We can roll that.
Wyoming ML? Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, we only have -0.5 some places anyway. So.
All right. Well, let's get your votes up, chats. We'll get this poll fired up ASAP. All right. We'll get it going. Our guy Josh. Let's get some W's in chat for Josh, who's going to be getting this poll going. Okay. So Duke or UCF? Yeah, give me Duke, Ray. Give me Duke ML. All right. Has LSU covered a game yet? I think so. Not many.
Yeah. Let's see.
Not many.
Get their record.
They're winning,
out.
but they're not covering. Drew Freeberg is the guy who looks like Trump's good.
5-7 against the spread. Not horrendous.
Hey. Okay. Drew Freeberg, sure. He's balling this year. Holy shit.
Jeez.
Yo, is the poll up yet or no? Am I tripping?
He said Twitch is messing up a little bit, so he's getting it ready.
Cool.
We can talk a little bit in the interim. I mean, last night we were speaking of Mississippi State. Oh, look at Drew. Look at Drew. Look at the GOAT, bro.
The senior. He's been absolutely wet from 3 this year. Holy fuck.
It's been driven.
He's shooting 50% from 3 this year.
That's legacy right there.
Sure he can.
10, 6 of 11.
Sure he can.
Look at him, bro.
All right.
Oh, how's the hockey system playing 1.5? I can tell you. So I have a page for it. Since I started tracking it, Thanksgiving, 25-9. That's what it is.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, that plays and that pays.
Yeah. So I mean, there hasn't been many lines, I guess, in the last week that kind of fall into that range. But there's a couple today. I guess the Red Wings are in there. Or not a couple. I guess it's the only one. The Red Wings are in there today. So I mean, I'll play it just because it's along with the system, but I haven't really looked into any of it. Besides that Flames bet that they said DeGen loves is certainly interesting. Against the Kraken team, who's the greatest of all time. They're coming off a loss, but they've been playing fantastic against the Flames team, who absolutely sold yesterday in more ways than one. I know a lot of people are on Flames ML as well, but they've just been bad, just in general, especially on the road too. So they're favored and it's moving their way. So I like that for Amanda Jen for sure. What is the system? It's when you have a NHL favorite -200 to -240 closing price. You usually use FanDuel, but if it's consensus kind of everywhere, it is what it is. You take the +1.5 for the opposite team. Ooh, yes, Pat. Yes, Pat. Talk to me.
People who get it.
I'll be on the phone.
People who get it. Pat.
Yeah. Pat gets it. That's a go. That's a go.
Was basketball my favorite sport growing up? Basketball's always been my favorite sport to watch, but I stopped playing growing up because I just wasn't that good. I was always kind of a short, fat kid growing up. I didn't hit puberty till middle of high school. Sucks. I was a baseball guy. Growing up. But CBB has always been my favorite sport to bet on and watch. I don't know why I love it so much. Sometimes I wish I didn't, but it is what it is. It is what it is. The poll is up. Please go vote. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Go, go, go. We have 5 minutes. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Damn, a lot of good picks today. Very organized poll, too. Josh, good work. Thank you. Appreciate it, Josh.
Great work.
Great work, man. Great work.
Yeah, we were with the
Royals PTO. Sure. That should play.
We were out in the same space as the Miss State football team last night. They were not going to give away any secrets, but I'm definitely thinking about putting a coin on them come the bowl game this weekend.
You think so? For coach?
I mean, it's a big narrative spot, obviously. I think they would have the advantage in that game anyway, but I mean, there's a pirate in the stadium. Pirate ship in the stadium. They played in Tampa. Mike Leach, the pirate. It's just all too perfect. It's all too perfect.
Damn. Well, I'll be rooting for you from afar. That's a narrative I can't get behind. to public, but I do hope they win for coach, and they deserve it. They deserve it. People forget he literally changed the game of football.
He did.
And kind of invented the air raid offense and gets no respect. So I'm glad to see everyone come out with all these good stories about him because college football is just a way better place with Mike Leach involved.
Yeah.
And it's sad that he's gone. So
great dude.
We'll leave it at that. Definitely need some more votes in this poll going because it just isn't going to cut it. It's not going to cut it, plain and simple. Although I could tell they want to bet on college football today.
Yep.
Because they're going Kansas, which, hey, that ain't no problem. These are all winners right here. All of them. All of them. These are all winning. Parlay them all. 20 units. Go. Hurry up. Go, go, go. Don't do that, please. Okay. Bet these responsibly for a unit, and they'll go 3-2 or 4-1. Okay?
Yeah.
That's how you win long term. All right. You can sneak in a little Krabby 2-piece every once in a while, during the holidays. You can have some fun every once in a while, but be responsible. All right. Only bet what you got. Krabs need more nuke packages like yesterday. I mean, yeah, just those two college football games it was just too perfect. It was too perfect. I mean, ECU laying 7 against Coastal with their QB making one more start. I mean, come on, that was too easy.
Was.
That was too easy, man. And the over hit too, which was awesome. I love the over too. I know you were on that. And then, I mean, Wisconsin being the favorite with the backup quarterback in, sure.
Yep.
Sure. That was so easy. So hope you guys tailed that. I know McCall got hurt. Probably shouldn't have been playing. But honestly, that kid's got so much heart. He probably didn't fucking give the coaches a choice.
Yeah.
He probably said, I'm dressing, I'm playing in that game. If you want to get the authorities involved, you can remove me, but I'll be out there with my team, which I respect. I do. Would have been a different story if McCall didn't get hurt. Yeah, but he did. He did, Simba.
It's not like they're winning the game when he got hurt.
Yeah, pretty sure they're down a touchdown or two.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Wentz is starting on Sunday. Jaden, I appreciate it. Thank you. He's back. The 11 card's back. All right. Should he be starting? No. Is he starting? Yes. Also, did you see who won the poll? Because it's gone.
Yeah, it's Kansas.
Kansas plus 2.5, rock chalk.
Yep, rock chalk.
You can't cap for that, though. That's facts, Simba, but you can't make excuses when your bets lose. It's part of the game, brother.
Yep.
It's part of the game, all right? Hate when people bitch about losses. Hate when people bitch for handouts. Could have gone the other way, Sucks that it didn't. Let's hit some bets today, and let's bring the coins back together, all right?
Yep.
Let's get after it, brother. Squad rides, coming off a loss yesterday. That was the worst bet ever. We're going to be better today. We've got rock chalk, Kansas plus 2.5. Little ball game action to take the edge off, all right? And we've got plenty of CBB bets to take today. We're passing it off to Trent to get one more stream here going before the new year. Chat, appreciate you guys coming as always. Happy Wagon Wednesday. Let's hit our bets tonight. We'll be seeing you.